The first time I fell in love, I didn't understand what was going on. Like my heart felt like it was going to explode. And I remember I was just a little kid. I was in school. I think I was in the 4th grade. And he went to a different school, so I would run out. I knew exactly what time his bus went by my school because his bus came by my playground. And I would watch for him. The most profound relationship that I was ever in, when I was super, super in love, it ended really painfully. It ended because I knew I had a purpose on earth. I had something I was supposed to do, and I couldn't do it with him because he didn't live in America. And I knew I had to be here. I knew I had something to contribute. It drove me to really produce in the beginning. It drove me really hard. I was like, if I'm leaving him to have to do, which was basically the Do Lab, Lightning in a Bottle, Lucent Dossier, that's what I knew I had to do. I wanted to create experiences for people where they could come in and be more of who they really were, so that people could open their hearts and be more loving and be more playful, and so I left him to do that. So if I was going to do that, I had to do it all the way, because I left the greatest love I had had up until that point. The letting go process was very long. There were absolutely moments where it was completely unbearable. And I don't know. For me, I'm a cave person. I go into my cave. So I darken all my windows and I just stay in bed. I mean, I've been in the hibernation period of heartbreak more than once. So for this particular relationship, it was kind of a prolonged, I've always thought of him as my eternal soulmate. And so it's been like this long, painful process. And it may be that I've built it all up in my head, and if I saw him today, I'd be like, what? Maybe there would be no connection there at all. I don't know. I haven't seen him in 11 years. So it's hard to say. But I've had other, I've fallen in love since, and I've had other heartbreaks since, for sure. And I think the way that I processed with him was different because I left him. I don't know if I could say that I'm healed by the letting go process, but I could say that I've come to terms with this is my destiny and it's perfect exactly the way that it is. I think the second time that I went through a really, really big heartbreak, I was completely unprepared for it. And it totally just threw me off, everything. And the third time around was even worse. Yeah, I don't think I got better at it. I don't know how you can get good at heartbreak. I don't really know. You have to go there and find your way back out. I think when I was at the depths of the pain, I had to keep going because I have responsibilities, like we all do. And I poured my pain into my work, and I poured my love into my work, because for me, the most painful thing when a relationship ends abruptly is like, what do you do with all that love that you're still holding for that person? So I put all that love into a show for Lucent, and I just poured it in there, and the pain too, it was all there. Our latest project with Lucent Dossier is called Light of the World, because I believe that every human is the light of the world. We are all the light of the world. I am the light of my world, you are the light of your world, and every human is the light of their own world. When we were crafting the Light of the World show, our focus was the concept of when the caterpillar is in the cocoon, the caterpillar has no idea that he or she will be a butterfly. And so our whole concept of the show was based on that, and there's a lot of kind of crawling and then cocooning and then breaking free. And that idea of when you're breaking, even when you're breaking out, you still don't know you're a butterfly. You actually don't know you're a butterfly until you're all the way out. So the whole show is every act has some quality of that in it. I think there was an animalistic sort of quality to that show, because for me, you know, I call it dragging my knuckles in the mud. That's what I call it. You know, where you're just like, you're so weighted down, you can't stand up, and you're just like, you know, in it. And I think that that show was really, we got dirty and we got down and we got gritty. It's a very gritty show, but it's also beautiful. And I don't know that that expression would have existed without that heartbreak. I feel like one of the things that blocks humans from having deep connections is the unwillingness to be real in the first place. So we want to connect deeply, but we don't want to reveal ourselves. We just want someone to connect with us without us giving anything. And I feel like I have an amazing support team because I'm willing to reveal myself to them. And because I'm willing to reveal myself to them, they feel open, and they feel the possibility of revealing themselves back to me. So we have super honest connection with each other, and it's not just my girlfriends. I have great guy friends too. I'm just real with them, and they're real with me. Like I don't, my ego's not there with them, and my, you know, walls are down. My support team around me is stellar. So I think that when I need to, I lean on them, and when they need to, they lean on me. My ultimate definition of the love story, I think that, I mean, such a huge part of falling in love is chemistry, and that's beyond our control. And whether that's because we're meeting someone who we've spent thousands of lifetimes with, that would be my concept of what chemistry is. Somebody who's a little more pragmatic might say that it's just an electrical, like chemical, our hormones match up and we would procreate good together, and that's why we're attracted to each other. And I think some of that is involved as well. But for me, the ultimate love story, the definition of the ultimate love story is I set it up and I'll say it again, it's two people saying yes at the same time. This is Love Story Magazine, and I am Dream Rockwell, and I too have loved and lost.